أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين، ثم أما بعد. Our last meeting, we were talking about arrogance as one of the destructive manners that Imam Ghazali was talking about. And he also talked about the virtue of being humble to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to Muslim brothers, and to treat people as we want them to treat us. And I would just ask our brothers in the back of the masjid to kindly keep it quiet. If everybody can hear me in the back. So if you can, please just help us by just keeping it a little bit quiet. Today, inshallah, we'll be talking about Imam Ghazali is trying to talk about things that people are proud of. People take pride in a number of things, and this is exactly what he will talk about. He said the first one, he said there are 8 things that usually people take pride of. And first thing is the shape. People like always to brag about their looking and how beautiful they are and how handsome they are, and about their physical shape. And our culture here, the materialistic, liberal culture, is focusing so much on this aspect. Beauty is everything. People pay so much attention to their hair, skin, their weight, and their looking generally, the perfume they apply, the brands they dress, and all these things. People try to, because everybody wants to be proud of something. That's part of human nature, right? Everybody wants to find something, either a degree, a title, and now people focus so much on how they look, what kind of cars they drive, and what kind of brands they dress, and so on. So one of the sunnah that many people ignore or neglect is the dua when we look in the mirror. Every day we look in the mirror, right? A lot of mirrors in our homes now, right? So every day we have to look at least once in the mirror. So one of the beautiful du'as that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to say is, Allahumma kama hassanta khalqi fahassin khuluqi wa harrim ala an-nar wajhi. You look in yourself in the mirror, after you take a shower, apply all gels and creams and all these things, dress nicely. Before you go and just look at yourself and say this dua, Allahumma kama hassanta khalqi, as you perfected my khalq, perfect my khuluq, akhlaq. Allahumma kama hassanta tahseen, yani. Okay? Allahumma, as you hassanta, kama hassanta khalqi, fahassin khuluqi, wa harrim ala an-nar wajhi. Make it haram for the fire to touch my face. Allahumma kama hassanta khalqi, fahassin khuluqi, wa harrim ala an-nar wajhi. And Imam Ghazali also said that one should not be proud of his good looking because there are all the filth inside of us, and second day after we're buried, then we'll be something else. We'll start smelling awful, right? So if we look at where we came from this disgusting sperm, and when we die, we'll be rooted under that ground, and then we'll start smelling horrible. So we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us good looking, not to take this as a means of looking down at others and considering ourselves better than others. The second thing that people actually are proud of is power, authority. Al-Quran talked about the people of Ad and Thamud. They are always mentioned together, most of the time. The people of Ad, they were very powerful, very strong physically. The way they looked, they were very tall and powerful and strong. And they said, who is stronger than us? Man ashaddu minna quwwa. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّ اللَّهَ الَّذِي خَلَقَهُمْ هُوَ أَشَدُّ مِنْهُمْ قُوَّةً. Don't they know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created them is much stronger than them? The story of Sulaiman alayhi salam. Sulaiman, we know, is very powerful, very strong, and he said he has more than 100 wives, and he said that I will visit them all tonight and will have 100 kids, you know. And then he was not given except one paralyzed child because he forgot to say inshallah. That's another very famous story. So it's not the power that we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we are powerful, not to be proud of this power. The third thing is intelligence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave different people different level of intelligence. So when people are intelligent, intelligent people used to look down at those who are less intelligent, and that's very common. I've seen this. That's why one of the greatness of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the most wise. And by the way, some actually differentiate between wisdom and intelligence. Wisdom is better than intelligence. Intelligence to collect knowledge, to collect information, but wisdom is how to use it. Right? So when someone was super intelligent, super wise, to deal with Bedouins is not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Great professors, just to go and meet them, it's not easy. You have to take an appointment and go. They give you 15 minutes, go, and after 15 minutes you have to leave. You cannot just keep talking, And that's why highly intellectual people live in a different world. The ivory tower, as you say, and they don't like to talk to people who are not intelligent. It's a waste of time, right? They always talk to people in their level. But to go down to the people level is not easy. And looking down at people who are less intelligent is also inappropriate. So Imam Ghazali talked about this, those who know things, those who are smart, have good memory, they usually look down at others. Instead, he said one should always be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving him wisdom and knowledge and ability to reason. And because Allah could have created him much, like so many ignorant people. But Allah gave him this intelligence, and he should be thankful and use it for good and not to look down at others. One of the arguments actually Aristotle used when he talked about God, that God does not really care about his creation. He created laws and the universe regulates itself. He said his argument is that the most perfect, that's God. Part of his perfection is not to think about trivial things, right? When you see a great, highly intellectual, smart people talk about trivial things, that doesn't happen, right? Right. Very intellectual, highly intellectual people always talk about big things. So he said his argument is that God, part of his perfection is not to think about, all these, what you do and what you eat and what you drink and all these kind of things. He created the universe and he put rules, and the universe regulates itself by these physical rules. But that's not true. From Islamic perspective, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us because he cares for us. And he knows what happened. And he answers our prayer, and he gives us guidance, and he likes to see us follow his guidance, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 4 is nasab al-sharif, especially. This is something that's not only in the time of Imam Ghazali now. People always take pride of their nasab, especially those who are coming from the family of the Prophet, the Hashemites and the descendants of the Prophet ﷺ. They have different names in different places in the world that are called the Ashraf, they called Sayyids, they are called Hashemids, and Ahlul Bayt, and so on and so on, so many names. And people who have these titles, some of them, I don't say all of them, they feel that we are more superior to others because we are the descendants of the Prophet. Imam Ghazali said that the family of the Prophet, the household, the Ahlul Bayt, were honored not only because they are related to the Prophet, but because they're taqwa, and iman, and amal salih, good deeds. We know Abu Lahab is the uncle of the Prophet, but we curse him every time we read Tabbat Yada Abi Lahab, right? So the connection to the Prophet in of itself is not a merit. If someone was kafir or fasiq, this nasab is not going to help him. It's not going to help him. And the Prophet ﷺ made it clear when he said to his family members that اعملوا فلن أغني عنكم من الله شيئا لن أغني عنكم من الله شيئا. And he called Fatima, Ya Fatima bint Muhammad, اعملي فلن أغني عنك من الله شيئا. And he called Abbas, his uncle, and he by name, and he told them that do good deeds. Don't let people come to the day of judgment with good deeds and you come only with your nasab. That's not enough. I know that was an issue in many different cultures. And of course, it's very easy for people to claim this kind of connection. But even if this claim is true, that connection alone is not enough. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna akramakum ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila lita'arafu. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The best of you in the eyes of Allah is the one who has taqwa. When the Prophet ﷺ was asked, Man akramun nas? Who is the most honorable? He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Aktharum bil-mawti dhikran wa ashadduhum lahu isti'dadan. Those who remember death and those who are constantly getting ready for it. Right? And when Bilal radiallahu anhu gave the adhan, the first adhan in Mecca, from the top of Al-Kaaba, Suhail ibn Amr and others said, this black slave calling the adhan, and the ayah was revealed, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. And we know the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Kullukum li Adam wa Adam turab. You all belong to Adam, and Adam was made of turab, dust. The fifth is, he said, the connection with the people of power, authorities, a connection to political authority. Many people, of course, if your uncle, your friend is a powerful governor or president or sultan or a king, that's a great advantage, right? Having connection with political authorities, people also take pride in this. That this person is a governor or mayor is from my family, or is my friend or my father's friend, and so on. And Imam Ghazali said that again, this you don't know what politicians do. A lot of zulm, a lot of lying and hypocrisy. So they have their own deeds, and you have to focus on your own deeds. This connection may not help you. In fact, it can hurt if you approve what they do, the wrongdoings, I mean. Number 6, al-adad wal-awlad wal-ghilman. Number was very crucial, and it is still very crucial in many countries. The number of the people, the number of the tribe. You know, tribes used to fight with each other. So the bigger the tribe, the stronger, the better, right? تعيرنا أن قليل عديدنا فقلت لها إن الكرام قليل. So they used to insult other tribes. How many people in your tribe? I mean, only 200? So look at us, or 1,000 plus, right? So that's why people used to take pride with their names and the number of their family members. But Imam Ghazali said that the number in itself is not a merit. It could be good or bad. I mean, the Quran says, قُلْ لَا يَسْتَوِ الْخَبِيثُ وَالطَّيِّبُ. Good and evil are not equal, cannot be equal. وَلَوْ أَعْجَبَكَ كَثْرَةُ الْخَبْثِ. Even if much more people follow or do the evil things, this does not make it right. Okay? And one must follow the truth even if you are alone. Everybody else. So the number does not make right. The number does not make right. And one must actually train himself to follow the truth even if you are walking alone. So, and number 7, obviously, money. Wealthy people like always to look down at those who have much, or those who have less than them. Wealth and arrogance usually come together, are connected. Wealthier people become more arrogant and are disconnected. So that's why wealthy people always like to have their own clubs, like to have their own stores, like to have their own brands, like to have their own activities that only wealthy people can afford. They have golf games, they have yachts, and they have their own even clubs, the places only accessible to very wealthy people. They dress particular brands that's stupidly expensive. I don't know why, but super expensive. Super expensive. For a shirt, or $1,000 shirt, it's a shirt. I mean, how about this is for these kind of people, you know. The kind of furniture they buy, the kind of vacations. So they have their own things just to keep as far as possible from poor people. One day, the Prophet ﷺ saw someone who sitting in the masjid near a very poor person, and then he take aside and start collecting his clothes, so this poor person does not even come close to him. So the Prophet said that you are afraid that his poverty will come to you, right? We know the story of Ashab al-Jannatayn, who said to his friend, the wealthy guy mentioned Surah Al-Kahf, أَنَا أَكْثَرُ مِنْكَ مَالًا وَأَعَزُّ نَفَرًا. I have more money, I have more followers, more servants. Okay, so because I have more money and more servants, then I'm better than you. But one must remember that that's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wealth is a test. It's a blessing and then it's a test. And if Allah gives you so much, then this is to test you, what are you going to do with this money? Right? So be thankful to this and spend some of this money for helping the poor. And don't think like those who said, this argument. If Allah made them poor, why should we give them our money? Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them poor, made you wealthy, and He told you, take care of the poor. Why did Allah make them poor? That's to go and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about this is why it is. You are not going to be in the same level. Diversity is good and important. It's essential for this world to be maintained. Some people have to be more wealthy than others and more intelligent than others. You cannot have all people CEOs of a company, right? There's supposed to be one, leader, and then second row, and then you have this hierarchies. If everybody has the same knowledge, same intelligence, nobody will work for anybody, and the world will come to an end, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the wealthy people to take care of the poor people, right? Not to look down at them. And the story that when someone passed by, very wealthy, very influential, and the Prophet says, what do you think about this man? He says, oh, wow. When he speaks, everybody listens. When he intercedes, make shafa'ah, everybody will accept his shafa'ah. And if he goes to marry from any family, he will get what he wants. And soon after, another person passed by. And the Prophet said, what do you think about this person? He said, nobody will listen to him. If you want to go and marry, nobody will give him his daughter in marriage. And when he intercedes, nobody will accept his intercession. And the Prophet ﷺ said this, the second one, right, is خَيْرٌ مِنْ مِلْءِ الْأَرْضِ بِالنَّاسِ. This one person, the poor person that nobody listens to him, is much better than the whole earth filled with the first wealthy person. In other words, that in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the eyes of the people, the first is much better than the second, but in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the other way around. Number 8, last one, is al-'udw bil-ra'y, my opinion, my view, my idea. Right or wrong, doesn't matter, but it's my opinion, my way or the highway. What I say must happen. I will not accept any other opinions. And the Rasulullah ﷺ informed us this will happen in the end of this ummah, towards the end. إعجاب كل امرئ بنفسه. And this will destroy the nation before. Everybody has his own mind. Everybody has his own vision. Everybody has his own opinion. When everybody sticks to his opinion, like my way or the highway. All right. And as I mentioned before in one of the khutbahs, the piece of wisdom says that when Allah created people and gave them rizq, everybody got his rizq. Nobody was happy. Nobody was satisfied. Everybody wants to get more. And that's true. Even wealthy people, they want to be wealthier. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala distributed the minds, the ability to think and reason, everybody is satisfied. Everybody is happy with his own mind. Everybody thinks he knows everything. Everybody thinks of himself as Luqman al-Hakim. Right? And there's a lot of truth in this. A lot of truth in this. Everybody is happy with his mind. And sometimes people come to me in the office and he say, ask me a question, and he says, I don't pray, but I know religion very well. I understand religion. I don't pray and understand religion. I mean, I cannot find these two coming together. Ask about divorce questions, and of course he wants me to give him the answer he wants. But people are very proud of their mind. Nobody is satisfied with his rizq, but everybody is satisfied with his mind. I know everything. إعجاب كل ذي رأي برأي. We have a project when we are traveling together. Someone has to lead, right? And someone has to make decisions. But every time, everyone stick with his own opinion, then we'll have no community, we'll have no group. We have individuals, right? But at the end of the day, we must have leadership. We must do something together. Imagine if we come Jum'ah and everybody wants to lead the prayer. And everybody wants to give a khutbah. Or everybody, says this is the wrong direction. The Qibla should be this way. No, it's that way. We must have one prayer time, one khatib, one imam, and one direction, right? So sometimes we have to give up. Our opinion. Even if we think our opinion is, because everybody thinks his opinion is right? But at the end of the day, we have to make a decision. We have to compromise. And this happens, a lot of issues happen between husband and wife because of this. Everybody, stick to their gun. No, I'm not going to punch on this. It's very adamant. This is what is going to happen. Actually, life does not work like this. Someone has to let go. Right? I think it's better to do it this way. No, let's go that way. If we are in a van, someone is driving, someone has to make a decision, right? Maybe everybody in the van has a good idea where to go this way. No, turn right. No, turn left. No, you have to go this way. Let him drive. Khalas. It's not the end of the world. But when someone sticks to his opinion and nobody wants to change his opinion, then this will take us nowhere. Imagine if a ship or a boat in the middle of the ocean and everybody in the ship is a captain. There's a saying in Egyptian slang that says, المركب اللي لها رئيسين بتغرق. Which means that any ship that has two captains will eventually sink. And that's true. I mean, we need to have one captain. Someone has to make a decision. But if you have 100 people in the ship and everybody's a captain, no, let's go this way. No, let's wait. No, that way. And this is what happened in the Ummah living. In the Ummah living. Everybody's a captain. Everybody's a captain. And this is what brings a lot of troubles and prevent progress, long progress. To have a bad plan is better than having no plan, right? To have one leader who's not a perfect leader is better than having 5, 6 leaders. Everybody think, I am the leader. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the most knowledgeable and wise person, used to do shura all the time. What's shura? I have an opinion, you have an okay, guys, let's do this or that. We have 2 options here. No, I think we should go this way. No, and then that's what shura is. See the majority and go with the majority. Even Rasulullah never, not once in his life, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, did shura and then he went against shura. Not once. You have a shura. What does shura mean? Shura means everybody has his own opinion. What do you think? Or should the Battle of Uhud, the best example, should we fight inside Medina or should we go out of Medina in Uhud and fight them there? Some of the Sahaba said, no, let's stay in Medina. And Rasulullah's opinion was to stay in Medina. And other, mainly younger people, so enthusiastic, said, let's go outside. And the Prophet said, okay, the majority want to go outside, let's go outside. It's a huge decision where to fight. And the Prophet himself went against his own opinion, which everybody think, when we read the seerah, that is a better opinion, to fight inside Medina, because you can make, ambushes and take advantage of the knowledge of the way, but you can do whatever you want. Outside, you are in an open place, then you're equal. But the Prophet said, if the majority want to go out, let's go. And when he ﷺ went out, or chose to go out, and they thought, we did the wrong thing. We went against the opinion of the Prophet. So the Prophet's opinion was with the minority. So the majority felt bad that they did not follow or not listen to the opinion of the Prophet ﷺ. And on his way out, he said, Ya Rasulullah, khalas, we changed your mind. Let's go with your plan. He said, no, cannot just keep changing opinions. We got ready to go out, let's do it. Okay? And that's a perfect example of respecting people's opinion. And that's leadership. Leaders are not the people who always, force everybody to follow their opinion. Good leaders will teach people how to practice real democracy and shura. But when everybody likes his opinion and wants to stick with his opinion, then there will be no progress. And this is what brings dictatorship. And dictatorship brings corruption. Absolute power leads to absolute corruption. So when everybody likes his opinion and he does not want to change his opinion, this is a sign of arrogance. No, I have to do it this way. I said we should do this way, then you have to do this way. And nobody wants to compromise, to give up his opinion, because now he will look weaker. Nobody wants to look weak. Everybody wants to look like smart and strong, and everybody should follow him. So these are the 8 things that Imam Ghazali mentioned that makes people sometimes arrogant and look down on others. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts from arrogance, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us humble people, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us the truth as truth, and help us follow it, and show us evil as evil, and help us to avoid it. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم. If you have any comment or question before we conclude? Alright, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا.